Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
But today's her birthday. What a gift you would be able to give to her if you could share her picture.
A heartbreaking day for the family of Lena Keel. They should be celebrating her 5th birthday today. Instead, the little girl's family is hoping that a new picture could bring her home.
I didn't have to walk past here today, but I wanted to, and just to pay my respects and mourn and things like that.
And students have returned to class 1 week after 3 of their classmates were gunned down at Michigan State University. While some did go back to school, others spent the day doing something else. We'll tell you more about that, but first.
It's been more than a year since Lena Keel disappeared, but her family's not giving up hope as they mark her 5th birthday.
Keel was last seen in December 2021. As the night team's John Paul Barajas explains, there's hope that a new image could bring her home.
December 20th, 2021. A video from that day shows the last known images of Lena Keel, but her family hopes this age progression sketch will be the key to finding her.
He had his breath taken from him. I could see that he was holding back the tears.
Pamela Allen with Eagles Flight Advocacy and Outreach serves as the family spokesperson. She says Lena's parents are struggling with the search, especially her mom.
And those tears that she cries, and the rocking back and forth, and her holding her stomach as if her heart were missing.
Allen tells us the Keel family is trying to channel that emotion into finding their little girl. Adding tips are still coming in, but so far they haven't been helpful.
Getting pictures of toddlers, younger girls, and so we thought this might help in the search for Lena.
Artist Lois Gibson created this sketch, which appears to show how Lena is believed to have aged since she disappeared. Gibson holds the Guinness World Record for world's most successful forensic artist.
She said from a toddler to a little girl that the mandible would change, and then this space between the eyebrows. She went through it forensically with us.
Gibson's sketches are said to have helped law enforcement identify more than 751 criminals. Allen says the Keels hope her sketch will bring them closer to finding Lena.
We're going to spread that hope. I mean, what will we lose in sharing hope with one another? And we're going to continue in the search for Lena.
Allen is also challenging people to share these new images as much as possible. We have these pictures on KSAT.com and also KSAT social media pages. If you do go and share it, you're asked to use the hashtag 10,000 shares for Lena. The main goal there is they want it to be reposted at least 10,000 times, both nationally and internationally. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, John Paul. We hope they find her. The community tonight still reacting to the loss of legendary local businessman and sports team owner Red McCombs. His family announcing that he died on Sunday at the age of 95. Red McCombs helped put San Antonio on the map with his ownership of the Spurs, along with other business ventures. The foundation helped grow the nonprofit organization San Antonio Sports into what it is today, and McCombs also helped found Spurs Give.
He always wanted to support what we did in San Antonio through our mission of transforming this community through the power of sport.
Spurs Sports and Entertainment CEO R.C. Buford released a statement tonight reading, quote, "As we celebrate our 50th anniversary, it's important to state that without Red and Charlene, there would be no Spurs. His approach, vision, and impact were unique and wonderful. On a personal level, I am forever grateful for the trust, support, and lessons that Red provided to me and my family over our 35-year friendship. There will never be another Red McCombs," end quote. San Antonio Spurs head coach Greg Popovich also releasing a statement tonight on McCombs' passing. We'll have that for you a little bit later, coming up in sports. And you can read more about the life and legacy of Red McCombs right now over on our website, KSAT.com. Just look for this story on our front page.
You know, believe it or not, it's been almost 1 year since the start of the war in Ukraine. President Joe Biden making a surprise visit to the country today to show solidarity right ahead of the 1 year mark. Now, President Biden announced an additional $500 million in U.S. assistance and reassured Ukraine that it could count on American and allied support. Now, thousands of Ukrainians have fled their homes during this war, and they've made the U.S. home.
U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services started Uniting for Ukraine last April to help people seeking refuge.
As the Night Team's Lee Waldman reports, a new program is supporting Ukrainians as they start their new lives.
It was day when 2nd March. It was day when we leave Kiev.
This photo, it is a house near our daycare.
Each photo shows the wreckage of nearly 365 days of war in their home country. Both refugees left with their young children, looking for somewhere safe away from the Russian invasion. Anastasia came alone in September.
It's scary to be there in the shelter. Rockets just fly up on your head. It's scary. So it was very sad because there was my job, my home, my friends, my family.
Now they're here through the Uniting for Ukraine program run by U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. They're referred to as humanitarian parolees and are allowed to stay in the U.S. for 2 years. Now a new 90-day program aims to help by connecting them with resources for housing, jobs, and benefits.
It's very important because a lot of people saying that they come here and they don't know even where to start.
Several local organizations like Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Service and Catholic Charities are helping people sign up for the program. They're encouraging people to do so immediately. As for these 3 women, they're praying they'll have a safe country to go back to someday.
I just every day pray that it should finish as soon as it's possible. And I hope this year, 2023, it should be the end.
On KSAT.com, we have links to all of those resources. Friday will mark 1 year of this war. There are 2 rallies planned to honor Ukraine. The first happening on Thursday right here at City Hall at 5:30. The second will happen on Friday at the San Fernando Cathedral at noon. Live downtown, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Lee. Tonight, fallout continues in Turkey and Syria with another strong earthquake striking. And now we're getting a new look at the damage. Take a look at your screen. This is dash cam video of that earthquake in Turkey. You can see the entire ground shaking there on the right side of your screen. At least 3 people are dead and more than 200 hurt in this latest 6.4 magnitude quake. This is on top of the tens of thousands of people killed earlier this month when that even stronger 7.8 magnitude quake struck Turkey and Syria. Now, new rescue efforts have begun in addition to recovery that's still underway from the previous damage.
2 of the students who were injured in last week's Michigan State University shooting are now in critical condition. 3 others were injured and 3 others were killed in the shooting. Today, students and faculty returned to the East Lansing campus, which is 90 miles west of Detroit. Many MSU professors are allowing students to attend class virtually if they feel uneasy about being on campus.
A bit scared, I kind of wish that things were maybe virtual for another week or so.
I know some of my friends don't quite feel safe coming back yet, but it seems like, MSU's been accommodating and really supportive.
While some students did return to campus, other students actually spent the day at the Capitol in Lansing to attend a protest calling for gun reform.
Back here at home, arson investigators are still trying to figure out how 2 fires started at the same house overnight. It happened around 4 o'clock this morning on Hammond Avenue, not far from I-10 and Rigsby over on the east side. Crews found 1 fire on the back portion of that house and another on the side. They say the house is supposed to be vacant while it's undergoing renovations. It's still not clear tonight what exactly sparked those flames. Investigators are hoping neighborhood surveillance video might give them a better idea of who or what caused that fire.
Now for a look at some of today's big headlines in your Nightbeat news flash. Right now, we're still working to learn the name of a man who was killed while crossing Loop 410. Happened around 4 o'clock this morning near the Blanco and military exits in Castle Hills. Officers tell us the driver who hit the man did stop to help, but sadly, the man died at the scene. An apartment complex at the Rim, now a crime scene after someone there opened fire with an AK-47. It happened outside a woman's apartment. Investigators say it started with an argument between a woman's ex-boyfriend and the father of her child. According to police, one shot at the other 6 times with that semi-automatic gun. It was just before 10 o'clock last night at the Berkshire Apartments on Worth Parkway. The victim was leaving the apartment complex when he got shot. That person was hit twice, is expected to be okay, but police haven't found the shooter. And adding to that list, San Antonio police and Crime Stoppers are also looking for the people connected to a store robbery. Officers are looking for those 3 people on your screen. The robbery happened February 1st at the King's Discount Store on Southwest Military Drive. San Antonio police say that these people stole several items. One of them is accused of assaulting an employee on the way out. So if you know anything that could help police find them, just call the number on your screen. It's at the top, 210-224-STOP. By the way, if your information leads to police arresting someone in this case, you could get a cash reward. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
Still ahead on the Nightbeat.
Courthouse in and of itself is not such a mystery, right? And so if at any point in these children's lives, if they were to come into contact with the courtroom, it's not such a scary place.
Making the courtroom easier for young people to understand. That is the goal behind a new children's book. We'll take a closer look.
All right, we're still a few months away from the May 6th election, but the ballots have been finalized.
Yeah, this morning names were drawn to determine the order on the ballot. It is a process required by the state. And while the order doesn't have any significance, some believe the first name on the list has better odds of winning. But city leaders want to remind voters it's important to do your homework.
Kind of feel like it's important that people go out and learn about their candidates, learn about who the best person is for them to vote for.
Okay, so now I have a question for you. Are you voting? Well, you have to make sure that you're registered by April 6th. The early voting period starts April 24th. You can read more about the upcoming election on KSAT.com.
As for the current vacancy in District 7, the city clerk's office will continue accepting candidate applications this week. Former Councilwoman Anna Sandoval stepped down from that office last month. Applicants must meet eligibility requirements. The deadline is noon this Friday. Applications will be accepted in person at the city clerk's office. The interim council member will then be chosen by council early next month. You can find information on how to apply right now over at our website, KSAT.com.
Switching gears now, you know, it's difficult for kids to understand how things work in a courtroom.
And that's why one local civil district court judge helped create a new book to help children better understand Bexar County courts. Here's a look. The idea was brought to 45th Civil District Court Judge Mary Lou Alvarez, and she loved it. The new children's courthouse adventure book is filled with fun facts, puzzles, and coloring pages.
Now, it includes all kinds of activities to help educate kids about the basics of a courthouse, courtroom, and the role of a judge. Now, this is the first edition of the activity book, but the hope is to create new versions every year.
Several counties affected by that recent ice storm will be eligible for state assistance. The governor's decision to expand a disaster declaration will make state resources available to 24 counties in total. That now includes Blanco, Caldwell, and Kendall counties. At one point, more than 430,000 customers were without power during the storm earlier this month. Seems like a long time ago.
Yeah, nothing like that right now, right? Let's take a live look outside here. 67 degrees. And I heard you say, Adam, that we're going to be getting a fog in a few hours.
Yeah, the fog's going to be developing, and I think it's going to affect the morning commute. Just the first part of the morning, you'll notice the reduced visibility outside. Overall, we're looking at unseasonably warm conditions here. I know for several weeks in a row, we've been looking ahead to the next cold front that brings a bit of a chill and even a potential freeze. That's not the case this week. Actually, tomorrow we'll get up to 83 degrees. Wednesday, 88. The high temperature here in San Antonio, well above average, but far from record breaking. And then although afternoon highs do drop down a little bit, they remain well above average for this time of year. All right, let's get right to it. Now, take a look at our overall weather pattern. It's quiet across Texas, but I want to talk about rainfall and precipitation potential here going forward. What we're watching is just some clouds rolling across the state. We've got this counterclockwise swirl just west of the Baja Peninsula here in the Pacific, and that's the upper level disturbance we've been watching, and we were hopeful that it could bring us a chance of rain tomorrow night. I don't think that's going to happen. This is going to pass basically just to the north of us and throw some energy our way, but not really give us the much needed moisture. The rain's going to be mainly in North Texas, San Angelo, Midland, up toward Dallas as well. And then another system comes in from the west, likely too far to the north to give us any good precipitation for Sunday into Monday. But overall, we're looking at a very active pattern across the United States, across the lower 48 at least. And you look at the future cast for just precipitation. You've got big whopping snowstorm that's going to be stretching across a good chunk of the northern U.S. and across the Rockies as well. Meanwhile, there's that rain Wednesday morning passing to the north of San Antonio. More snow on going up to the north and other areas of rain in parts of the southeastern U.S. I mean, they could be talking 1 to 2 feet of snow in parts of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa there. It's a real deal situation. There's some good moisture out there. Unfortunately, it's just not headed our way. And we'll have some like nuisance dampness, but that's about it. Our actual rain chances remain at 0%, unfortunately. I wish we could change that, but there will be some times of dampness and just low-level moisture in the form of fog and drizzle, especially Friday through the weekend, but nothing beneficial, unfortunately, not yet. 68 our temperature right now, dew point of 61. We feel the mugginess out there. That's important. With these dew points, I am expecting some areas of fog tomorrow morning. Here's our future cast for the visibility, and notice that this computer model is indicating less than a mile visibility. I do think that's very likely from time to time and location to location across the Alamo cities tomorrow morning for the commute. But by 10, 11 o'clock, it's back to sunshine and above average temperatures. 60 at 7 a.m. By noon, we're at 74, and then a high temperature of 83 degrees here in town. And I do think we'll be in the low to mid 80s everywhere. That includes the hill country. Comfort 82, Bandera, Pipe Creek about 83 degrees, Converse 82, and Floresville 84. Now look at our temperature trend. Morning temperatures, the coolest we're going to get is down into the upper 50s, right? So well above average. Average low is in the mid 40s. And I do want to point out the warmest day we talked about Wednesday, 88 degrees. Also very windy on Wednesday, that west wind coming in, gusting up to 35 miles per hour at times. So that dry, gusty and warm west wind. Friday through the weekend, we'll have some of that nuisance dampness in the morning, some fog, maybe a little bit of drizzle, but not adding up to anything. So otherwise, no good rain chances. But we did have a beautiful sunset this evening. This caught by Taylor. Yeah, beautiful. Thanks for posting that at KSAT Connect.
Beautiful.
Tie-dye sundown.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put
Pretty,
it.
yeah. Thank you.
All right, Red McCombs was a lot of things, and without him, we wouldn't have the Spurs. And tonight, we're hearing from Greg Popovich.
And that's exactly what Greg Popovich said earlier in this NBA season on Red's 95th birthday. Pop said the Spurs would not be the Spurs without Red McCombs, and he talked about his friendship as well, and that he was Pop's first boss. Coming up, we have reaction from Coach Popovich, and in girls high school basketball, we have a playoff contest between Fredericksburg and Navarro coming up.
I don't think legacies really mean anything much except maybe to your children or somebody you were close to. I think what it means is to you in your own life feeling meaningful.
That was Red McCombs in 2017 and his 90th birthday party, talking about his legacy. Red passed away yesterday at the age of 95. He bought the ABA's Dallas Chaparrals and moved them to San Antonio for the 1973-74 season. Red was instrumental in getting the Spurs into the NBA during the ABA-NBA merger in 1976. He owned the Spurs on 2 different occasions and traded cash to the Virginia Squires for George the Iceman Gervin. Spurs head coach Greg Popovich released a statement today, quote, "Red was a true icon, a Texas legend. It's impossible to overstate the impact he had on the city of San Antonio. Perhaps his most impressive trait was his commitment to community. Red and Charlene impacted tens of thousands of lives here in San Antonio and across Texas, from multi-million-dollar donations to flying a stranded Little League team back to San Antonio. The McCombs family has always put community first. To me, most of all, he was a good friend and mentor," end quote. Spurs rookie Jeremy Sohan was San Antonio's only representative in Salt Lake City for NBA All-Star Weekend. He was selected to play in the Rising Stars game, and he was hoping rookie Malachi Branham would get a late invitation as an injury replacement, but it didn't happen. Malachi is averaging 18 points per game for the month of February.
I personally think he deserved it. It is what it is in the end of the day, but, you know, you've seen it. I think everyone's seen it. He's been doing really extremely well in the past, month or so. So, I mean, it's something he can't control. It's something we can't control. But, he's still getting the recognition that he deserves. So, you know, it's unfortunate that he's not here, but it is what it is in the end of the day.
Spurs will resume the rodeo road trip Thursday night at the Mavericks. We've reached the third round of girls basketball playoffs in Class 4A. Defending regional champs Fredericksburg played Navarro at Littleton Gym tonight. Third quarter, Battling Billies in control. Kirsten Hartman nails a three ball for a 39-25 lead. The Panthers claw their way back. Tatum Harborth drives and gets it to fall, counted and one. She'd finish with a game-high 22 points, but Fredericksburg answers right back. Madison Frontzen for three. It's good. Plus an off-ball foul results on a 5-point play. Then Ella Hartman calls her own number for the land. She had 17 tonight. Fredericksburg sweeps their district rival 62-41.
They're a solid team. They really are. We had to work for it. It wasn't an easy game for us, but playing them in district made it a little bit more difficult because they know everything that we're going to do. So you have to come up with some new things that they don't know.
Battling Billies will next take on the winners of tomorrow's Somerset versus Beeville Jones matchup in the regional semis this Friday. The Lido Pirates are into the third round of the playoffs thanks in large part to their defense. These young ladies eat, sleep, and dream about defense. They embrace it. They love to press and create a lot of turnovers. Up next for them in the Class 3A playoffs is their district rival from Cotulla, the Cowboys, a team the Pirates have beat twice during the regular season.
We played them twice, so we already know how they play, how they are, and we watch film on them, so we know how to break it down, what they're not good at, so we can work on that at practice, and hopefully take it up after the game.
I definitely think it will be like competitive. They'll come to play. We watched film, we prepared, I think we'll do fine. It'll be fun.
We beat them twice in district. It's a good team, really good team, and I think it'll be a good matchup. The thing is that they know how we play, we know how they play, so we just got to switch things up a bit and play our game, but better.
For her career, Fizz has 488 steals. She will pick your pocket. Lido will play Cotulla tomorrow night at 6 in the Class 3A regional quarterfinals in Seguin. Cowboys and Coffee Grounds after the break. Bull riding was back in action at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo tonight. 5 of the 11 rides went the distance. Here's Jeff Askey spinning round and round with Frontier Coffee New Grounds, and that's a percolating ride earning an 80. Then look at how calm that bull is afterward. Nice and chill. Look at that. Yeah, no worries. Here's 7-time world champion Sage Steele Kimsey riding Moonflower, and Kimsey breaks off an 87-point ride. He made that look easy. I mean, that's what a 7-time world champ does, right? Final cowboy of the night, Trey Holston with a re-ride on Bull Frontier Coffee Ohio grounds, and he hits the 8-second mark to earn an 87 to finish tied for first with Sage Steele. And watch afterwards, the Bull, he's just going to chase him down for a little while. But that cowboy said, dude, I am out of here. Everybody
got
was
lucky.
fine. He did.
Yes. I'm telling you.
Sometimes the Bulls win. Sometimes the Cowboys win. Looks like the Cowboys won tonight.
We'll be right back after this. My friends, it is time to indulge. We're talking about Fat Tuesday. It's a day associated with Mardi Gras, which is actually French for Fat Tuesday.
Of course, many treat it as the last day to revel in food and drink before Ash Wednesday, which marks the beginning of Lent. In the U.S., you'll find some of the biggest Fat Tuesday celebrations, of course, there on your screen. New Orleans, where there's parades, beads, and plenty of people in the streets doing things to get those beads we can't talk about.
Oh, Tim. All right. Areas of fog tomorrow morning, 60 degrees. Then by the afternoon, 83. Now, I want to point out that we get into Wednesday. It's going to be gusty. That west wind at times up to 35 miles per hour, especially by noon and thereafter. And that's going to pose a fire spreading danger. If there is a fire, especially west of San Antonio, close to the Rio Grande, it will spread very rapidly. Another nice, beautiful look at that sunset this evening.
Yeah, we had to get it again, right? Ooh, you want to see that in person. Thank you. Well, that does it for us. Don't forget that Good Morning San Antonio starts at 4:30.
Good night. Behave yourselves tomorrow.
See you.